Hello, and welcome back to the World According to Reese. In this video, I want to talk about website and app accessibility and what actually makes something accessible or inaccessible in real, everyday use. A lot of the time, accessibility is talked about in very technical terms, but I want to explain it from the point of view of someone who actually relies on it. One of the most important things when it comes to accessibility is how websites and apps work with screen readers. A screen reader can only read what it's given. If something isn't labeled properly, then it might as well not exist. A really common issue is buttons that aren't labeled. For example, a screen reader might just say button with no other information. That doesn't tell me what the button does, whether it submits a form, opens a menu, or deletes something. Even worse than this are buttons that are just images with no text label at all. If a button is only an image and hasn't been labeled properly, the screen reader has nothing meaningful to read. For a blind user, that button is effectively useless because there's no way of knowing what it does. From a sighted point of view, it might look obvious. From a screen reader point of view, however, there might simply be no context at all. Another big accessibility issue, especially with apps, is navigation and exiting screens. You see, sighted users often rely on visual cues to know how to go back, close a window, or exit a screen, and if those controls aren't labeled properly or aren't accessible via a screen reader, the blind user can get completely stuck. This can mean being trapped in a menu, a pop-up, or a screen with no clear way to leave it. When that happens, the app becomes unusable, not because the task is difficult, but because there's no accessible way to move around. Verification challenges are another major barrier. Things like capture tests that ask you to select images or identify objects on the screen can completely block access for blind users. These challenges are often designed with only visual users in mind. If there isn't an accessible alternative, such as an audio option, then the task can't be completed independently. Audio alternatives are really important here. They don't weaken security, they simply provide another way to access the same function. Without them, blind users can be locked out of services entirely. What's frustrating about many of these issues is that they are often easy to fix. Clear labels, logical navigation, proper focus order, and accessible verification options can make a huge difference. Accessibility isn't about making things easier than they should be. It's about making things possible. When websites and apps are designed with accessibility in mind, blind people can use them independently and confidently. When accessibility is ignored, it creates unnecessary barriers that force people to rely on others or give up entirely. The most important thing to understand is that accessibility works best when disabled people are included in the process. Listening to real users and testing with assistive technology can reveal issues that aren't obvious otherwise. In future videos, I'll be talking more about accessibility in practice, and I may also show examples of what accessible and inaccessible websites look like when using a screen reader. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel if you can, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.